Hi, boys and girls. I'm back again today, and we're going to continue working with subtraction. And you're going to be taking a look at your base 10 blocks or your number line. Today's examples that I'm going to go with you through are directly taken from your workbook page assigned to you today by your teacher. So again, if you have the paper all printed out, you might want to follow along. And if you don't have the paper printed out and you're going to do it through Seesaw, you can go ahead and do that after you watch the video. Very good. Today's problem that we're going to start with is taken directly from page 378, and it's problem 1. And when we take a look at that problem, it has A, B, C, D, E, and F. This one is 1D. And the directions for this section say to use blocks to help you subtract and write the difference. So we're just going to use the blocks part of this page here. And you can see I drew the blocks for us already. 423, and we need to take away 32. When we have to take away 32, I'm noticing I need 3 tens. And in 423, I don't have enough tens. What do I need to do? You're right. In order to get more tens, I need to break open one of the hundreds. So let's go ahead and do that. We know we have 423, but when I have to take away 3 tens, I don't have enough, so I'm going to cross out one of the hundreds, and in place of it, out falls 10 tens. And again, just like when we break open a 10 stick, it's really good to organize these tens into 2 groups of 5. It just helps keep things neat and easy to count. So you can see this 100 is broken apart, and here it is over here in the tens. So now I have 3 hundreds, 12 tens, and 3 ones. This arrangement will allow me to take away 32. So I go ahead and I'll take away 10, 20, 30, 31, 32. And how many do I have left? What is the difference between 423 and 32? Well, 100, 200, 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, 350, 360, 370, 380, 390, 391. And that's something I know that you've worked on before. I just wanted to review with you what happens when we don't have enough tens. And we get those over from the hundreds. Very good. Let's move on to our next example for today. And our next example, once again, is taken from your work page. It's page 379, and it's problem 2A. Again, there's an A, B, C. This is 2A. And we're going to work again with a 3-digit number, and we're going to take away a 2-digit number. When we do that, it looks a little bit different when we work on the number line. Okay? So if we take a look here, let's start with our base 10 blocks. We have 385, and we're going to take away 27. Okay? And you can see that I have 2 tens. I don't have enough ones. So I'm going to have to break one of those apart, and let's put those together right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So now I have 385. I still have 385, just arranged a little differently. And now I have enough ones. So I'm going to take away 27. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay. That's again something you've been doing quite a bit of, something you know how to do. When we take a look at the number line, once again, we're starting at 385 for our total. And look, here's that friendly spot right between our tens. You'll notice our number line here, 385. So I know here's the 80s. I went up to the 90s because 385 is going to be right there. And I'm also going to mark those 5 anchor points here just to help me out. And I have to jump backwards now. And when we're jumping backwards, when we have a 2-digit number, we're going to start with the tens place, and we know we need 2 tens. So here's our 385 that we're starting with. And when I go 10 less than 385, I notice I have to go 10 less than 80, and I know that's 70. So that's an easy jump because it happens to fall directly on one of our anchor numbers. So there's our minus 10 right here. And I need to go another 10. So 385, 375, and 10 less, you're right, would be 365. Okay, so we got to label that jump. Okay, and so now I know I've gone my 20. I need to go 7 more. Well, we are right here on our 365, and I have to go 7 more. Well, remember, if I jump 5 to get to an anchor number, I can do just what I did the other day. I can break this 7 up into 5, and how many more? 2. You're right. So here's my jump of 5 because that's nice and easy, right? And I need to go 2 more. And when I go 2, I need to jump 2 less. And when I go 2 less from 360, 359, 358. I know that's at 358. Okay. So what I did is when we work with our number line and we're taking apart or taking away a 2-digit number, we jump back those tens because counting backwards by 10 on the number line, not too difficult. 385, 375, 365. You're noticing that pattern. And then when it came to take away 7, I noticed that in my friendly numbers, I could take 5 away and then the rest of it being the 2 more to take a total of 27. And I ended up at 358, the same number that I came up with here: 100, 200, 300, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know my difference between 385, take away 27, is 358. Okay. So remember, as you're jumping backwards on that number line, your tens and then your leftover ones. Let's look at one more example because in your book on problem 2C, we have an open number line. And it's going to look a little bit different because as we count backwards by tens to do our subtraction, it gets a little tricky. And I wanted to do that together with you. In your workbook, you only have to do the number line, but I know seeing the base 10 blocks is a good visual as well. And you'll notice I also added our friendly hundreds, tens in one frame there, our 100 frame, to help us with counting backwards by tens, starting at 416. Okay. So if we take a look here, and we're going to look at the base 10 blocks first, we're starting with 416, 400, 410, 415, 416. We're going to take away 23. So I know I need two tens. Oop, I don't have it. Well, I know if I go 110 less right here, 10 less than 416 is what? 406, because we don't have any tens anymore, do we? But I need to take away two tens, and I don't have another 10. Just like in our problem before, we know we have to break apart our hundreds block. And when I break apart that hundreds block, what comes out? 10 tens. There's 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So there's our 100 still, just broken apart. Can I take away another 10 now? I sure can. Now I can take away that second 10. There was my first 10. There's my second 10 for 23. What number do I have now? I have 100, 200, 300. So 10 less than 406 is 350, 60, 70, 80, 90. And I still have my 6 ones. Notice what happened there in counting backwards by tens. I had to go into the hundreds less, so I had to start back at my 90s. If I did 10 less than 396, what would I have? 386. And then when we go 76, 56, 46, it goes right through that pattern that we're so used to seeing. But this jump here from 400s with no tens and then into the 300s is a little tricky. And I wanted to do that together with you on the base 10 blocks. This will help us now when we use our open number line. Okay, time to do the number line. So once again, we know we're going to start at 416 because that is the total. Remember, this is an open number line, so I can put whatever numbers I want on here. I need to go 10 less. And when I go 10 less than 416, I saw here that it was 406 because I just took a 10 away. And now I've got to go another 10 because I need 20 altogether. So when I go 10 less from 406, this is where it got a little tricky. And having this table helps us keep track of 10 less than 406. We now need to go into the 300s, and we're at the 90s now. 396. Okay, am I all done? Nope, I have 3 more ones to go. And if I'm at 396, I know if I take away just 3 ones, 1, 2, 3, I end up with 393. So what I did now is I have my open number line. I started with my total. There's my total. I had to take away 23, 10, and this was the tricky part, 20, and then 3 more. And I came up with the difference of 393. Okay, I hope this helped you a little bit today. And remember, whenever you're doing subtraction on a number line, if you need to set up this little table to help you do that backwards by tens, it might be a good way to help you, especially when you need to jump from the 400s back into the 300s. I hope these examples helped you to get through some of your work that you're doing today. Remember, kids, using a visual to help you do your math is so important. Base 10 blocks is one way you can do it. A number line is another way you can do it. I know you can work hard on today's assignment. Have fun, and I'll see you soon.